Hi guys, it's Mrs. Baum with your Wednesday video. I'm really proud of the fact that almost all of you had a super positive report from Tuesday from Mr. E. Sounds like almost all of us were amazing, with a couple of us that had a hard time getting started. So I'm really looking forward to hearing great things about how class goes for today. So happy Chicken Cordon Bleu Day. If you were unaware of what chicken cordon bleu is, here's a picture of it. It's kind of like a piece of chicken with like some ham and cheese in the middle, rolled up with some crunchy breading on the outside. It's very, very good. If you've never had it before, I strongly encourage you to find a way to indulge in some at some point in time. So the only paperwork that you need today is your probability packet. And your homework for tonight is page 144, the last homework page in the packet. And don't forget that extra credit opportunity. All 10 points are due on Friday by midnight. I've gotten a couple things from a couple of you so far, so that's pretty awesome. Okay, so again, with this video, when I go through each part, pause it after I explain the part, complete that section, and then come back and continue watching the video. So for your bell ringer for today, the question is, what are you going to do today that is the same as yesterday? What is something you are going to do differently? So for a lot of us, we probably don't need to do that many things differently, but just kind of be creative and think outside of the box. What's something that you're going to do to maintain awesomeness? And then what is something you're going to do to kick it up a notch? Go ahead and answer that on your bell ringer document, and then come back for the next question. Okay, you're warm it up, Chris. So if you toss a coin, do you have an equally likely chance of getting heads or tails? Why or why not? So go ahead and pause this video and answer that question. If you toss a coin, do you have an equally likely chance of getting heads or tails? Why or why not? And our focus question is the same as it has been the last 2 days. How does modeling with an experiment help you determine possible outcomes and the likelihood of each outcome? And then our I can statements, understanding that probability is a number between 0 and 1, and being able to use a data collection probability experiment to estimate the possibility of something happening, and then being able to develop a probability model. Okay, so today's tasks. You're going to be doing something related to equally likely. Then you are going to be completing a buzz math unit, and then you're going to do an activity called Coco the Parrot. When it is time for Coco the Parrot, you'll come back and you'll click on this blue writing, because that's a link to that website. Okay, so go to the page in your packet that says Understanding Equally Likely. So you have a chart that has a list with several actions and possible results. In each case, you are going to decide whether the possible results are equally likely, and you're going to explain. For 5 and 6, you're going to have to actually add in what the possible results are. So look at the example. You check your temperature at home tomorrow morning. Possible actions: the temperature is 30 degrees Fahrenheit or above, the temperature is exactly 30 degrees, or the temperature is below 30 degrees. So are all of those 3 things equally likely? So I would say that they are not all equally likely, because there are so many different possible temperatures that it could be. Typically in the middle of April or in the beginning of April, it's not going to be below 30 degrees, but there are so many different temperatures that are below 30 degrees or above 30 degrees to say that all of those are the same chance of it being exactly 30 degrees is probably not equally likely. Okay, now looking at number 1, you toss an empty pop can. So possible actions: the can lands on its side, the can lands on upside down, or the can lands right side up. Well, you all have enough experience with dropping things to know whether or not those 3 things are equally likely. So for each of these, 1 through 4, you're going to check whether they're equally likely, yes or no, and then explain it. And then when you go down to number 5 and number 6, you're going to have to list the possible outcomes. Then don't forget, at the bottom of the page, you're going to be responsible for answering this question, equally likely means. So you're going to give me kind of your working definition for what equally likely means. So go ahead and pause this video and complete the Understanding Equally Likely page, and then come back when you're ready for your next assignment. And welcome back. So you've completed Equally Likely, so now you're ready to move on to BuzzMath. You are going to log into BuzzMath and complete the Outcomes and Probability activity. When you are done with this, please make sure to check this in with Mr. E and show him that you have received your star to get your credit. As soon as you are done with your BuzzMath, please come back for the next activity. Welcome back. So your next activity is called Coco the Parrot. So you don't need to navigate over to that other page because I forgot that I actually put the link in here. So you're going to go practice some probability with Coco the Parrot in this online game. So the parrot is going to ask you some questions about probability, and you will click on Start to begin the game. You're going to play the game. Make sure you have your sound down because the parrot likes to make noise, or use your earbuds. And as soon as you end up at the screen that says that you have won and answered all the questions correctly, you're going to screenshot it and then send that to me. So go ahead and complete Coco the Parrot and then come back when you're ready for your next activity. Welcome back. If you are interested in doing some internet sleuthing, speaking of Coco the Parrot, I had two parrots when I were growing up. So one looked like this bird and one looked like this bird. This bird's name was Lolita. This bird's name was Smokey. So if you have some time after you're done working on your homework and everything and you want to do some internet sleuthing to try and find out the types of birds each of these are, go ahead and put that technology to work for you, but make sure you get everything else done first. Okay, so now practice makes perfect. So you're at the point of your class period now where it's time to start working on your homework. And for your homework, you have page 144. So let's take a quick look at that. Okay, so at the top of page 144, it says draw a tree diagram to show all possibilities. So you're going to be choosing between problem number 1 and problem number 2. Whichever one you choose, you are going to be creating a tree diagram for it. So if you need a little bit of support on that, I did put a link to the video from yesterday in the slideshow that you can rewatch if you need to, or you could flip back in your notes to your tree diagram notes. If you are not here yesterday, at this point, you probably want to pause this video and go back and complete the tree diagram notes that you were expected to complete. Okay, so you're going to choose between 1 and 2. Then you're going to do a tree diagram for number 3. And then questions 4 and 5 are answered from your tree diagram for number 3. So in total, you're doing 2 trees and then answering 2 questions. That is what you are responsible for homework. And then if you finish that, you're welcome to go and complete some more of that extra credit. Okay, so that's all that you have for today. Please make a good decision with whatever you choose to work on when you finish. And your exit slip, I would like for you to tell me something you were awesome at today. So I look forward to getting a good report from Mr. E, and I will see you guys soon.